Hello, everyone. Hey, my name's Joseph Skoda, and I'm a Toastmaster. In fact, I'm a distinguished Toastmaster, and I'm at a contest, a fall conference in Las Vegas, Nevada at the moment, where I'm here with one of the competitors, Miss Katy Porter. Hi, Katy.
Hi, how you doing, Joseph? Happy to be here.
Oh, this is great. You know, I've known you 3 or 4 years now,
Yep.
and I knew you back when you were District 33 governor.
Correct. That's correct.
Governor. And I've watched you over the years, even after you stopped governoring. Now you're back into competing. Tell us a little bit about why you competed at this event and what draws you, what makes you work.
Thank you. So Toastmasters mostly happens within the meeting structure, where we attend either a weekly or bi-weekly, bi-monthly meeting and improve our communication and our leadership skills. But Toastmasters was smart enough to know that if you don't have something special once in a while, people can get stale. So we have our district conferences, and at the conferences we have competitions. Now, when I first joined Toastmasters, I competed quite a bit. And I was on the East Coast in Washington, D.C., so that was most of my experience actually with competing. And I was in a small area with very few people who competed, so our area contest often had no competition or just one competitor. I won a lot. So for me, it's just fun. People say when you compete in a contest, you learn as much as 6 months in your meeting because of focus on it, getting input from others, thinking yourself about the details of what you're saying. So for a newer Toastmaster, I do recommend going out there and getting in the contest at the club level, participating at the area level. You'll learn a lot, and it's a lot of fun.
Sure, you know, that's a really good point. Toastmasters is not just about speaking, but evaluating.
That's right.
And until we're actually evaluated by someone who knows what they're talking about,
Right.
we can't fine-tune those skills we have. You know?
I love evaluation. If you're in a business and you know that what you're doing is okay but not great, try to find someone who will give you honest feedback, because people are concerned within a business setting to critique either a fellow worker or someone above them. They just don't see the benefit for themselves. But in Toastmasters, it's part of the game of Toastmasters. So we don't hesitate to give each other feedback. We've trained each other on, first of all, giving positive feedback, and secondly, receiving feedback and knowing it's about the event and not about your soul or who you are as a person. I'm sorry you have your hands in your pocket, therefore you're a bad person. No, just take your hands out of your pocket and you'll be a better speaker. Simple.
You know, that's a good point. I had a bad habit of leaning on the lectern when I started.
Okay.
That was one of my
I can see
faux
that.
pas,
Yeah,
right.
right.
And a lot of us need someone to tell us, hey, you're screwed up.
You
or
don't even know you're
speak
doing
louder, or don't
Right.
pay so much.
Yeah.
Pausing.
Yes, and then we find we're pausing, we're not leaning on the lectern, we're being with the people, we're talking to them really clearly, helping others, and we take it out into our lives. I know you're very involved in the community, I'm very involved in the community, and we try to use those skills we learn in Toastmasters to take it out and help others.
So it's obviously helped you when outside of Toastmasters.
I'll tell you, one of the most fun things I ever did was I got invited to do a keynote speech. Now, we talk in our club a lot. It's a safe environment. Over time, we've begun to feel safe. And a friend of mine had a keynote that was for 200 people. And he said, I'm not going to be able to go. It's 2 weeks away. Can you do a 45-minute keynote speech for this graduating class? Okay. We learn in Toastmasters, you say yes, right?
Say yes.
Okay. And it was one of my most successful speeches. I was so happy to have that opportunity. I'll tell you the title. The title was Reach Out to Others, Reach Deep within yourself, and reach success.
Wow.
Reach out, reach deep, reach success.
That is very powerful.
And it landed well. Yeah, people really appreciate it.
Now, obviously, you competed in the evaluation contest today.
Yes.
What's your favorite contest? 'Cause we have several.
We do have several. I do like the evaluation contest because you have to think on your feet. And you're giving feedback. You're serving the person who spoke. You're trying to give them something helpful to take away to make it worth their while speaking with us. Another contest that I find challenging but is fun is the humorous contest. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not funny," and that person, while they're telling you they're not funny, you're laughing. You think, "Well, you don't think you're funny, but you're a funny girl."
That's part of the evaluation. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
That's right. So I do like the humorous contest. I always have fun doing that. One time I was a mermaid and I made up a mermaid song. Actually, I was part mermaid. I supposedly had scales behind my ears and my fingers were webbed, and that's why I was a mermaid. Part mermaid, and I went to Atlantis in a helicopter with Men in Black, and it was so fun. I didn't get too far with that speech, but I had fun with it. So.
You know, that's pretty exciting because I go in character a lot when I speak. And in a safe environment where you can do things and be goofy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're hit, sometimes you're not.
That's right. So if you are listening and you're not a Toastmaster, one skill that is seldom mentioned about a Toastmaster is building your creativity. The skill of being creative. We have what we call table topics, which is speaking off the cuff, speaking impromptu. And in the beginning, people do 20 seconds. And after a while, you can't shut them up. People like myself who tend to run over time. However, as you practice speaking off the cuff, it becomes easier and easier and easier, and you begin to play with it. And man, one time in one of my clubs, we had a visit to the zoo where each person who stood up talked about going to the zoo following the person in front of them. So, oh yes, there's that bear by the entrance in the white cage, and then we walk past that, and then we see the giraffe who the second person had seen, and we go in further, and now we're feeding Peanuts to the elephant, which was the third person's. And afterwards, we felt we'd all been to the zoo. We could see that zoo in our mind. What creativity, what fun.
That's awesome. You know, I appreciate you talking to me really quick, but before I let you go, I want your opinion on who's Toastmasters for? What group of people?
Super. It used to be that we advertised Toastmasters as intended for professional speaking, public speaking, we called it. And you would think it's only for someone who's intending to go out and talk to audiences, like a keynote speech, right?
Sure.
However, we don't advertise that way now. We say this is for communication and leadership skills. So who doesn't need to communicate more effectively? And who couldn't use leadership skills even within their own life? Organization skills, listening skills, and finally, learning to support your club as an officer, and then you can take that out into your world. So who is Toastmasters for? Everybody.
Oh, brother. Well, thank
Come
you
to my
so
club.
much. Thank you so much, Katy, for
You're very
everything.
welcome, Joseph. I'm happy to
appreciate
join you today.
Yeah, like we say, we just talked to a professional. I mean, she's been around and up through leadership, and she's still involved today because Toastmasters is for everyone. You'll be better at your grammar, you'll use less filler words, and you'll fine-tune the skills that you already have. Let's have fun, and I look forward to seeing you at a Toastmaster meeting in your area. It's been Joseph Skoda, out.